Whenever anything tragic happens, people make a causal relationship between a certain sin and the punishment. They say that because of this particular sin, Hashem brought this particular punishment. I do not believe that we are in a position to be able to say that this sin caused this punishment. So what happens when something happens that's tragic? We try to round up the usual suspects. What are the usual suspects? There's so many usual suspects that I had to make a list. And I'm sure that you can make a list of your own. Okay. Lashon Hara, Sinat China, Bittul Torah, short skirts, Mishkav Zachar, not giving enough tzedakah, not supporting Torah institutions. And if you're a secular person, you also have your list. Not serving in the army. Skirts, not short enough. Religious coercion, being a settler, being an occupier, burning the Israeli flag. And you know what? Nowadays, we have new suspects recently that have been added to this list. Haredi bashing, cutting funding to the poor, and the issue of Aguna. Whatever it is, each group has their particular usual suspect that's the cause of our suffering for the Jewish people. I don't think so. You cannot make a connection between a particular sin and a particular outcome. However, there is a case where the Torah makes a connection between a pattern and an outcome. And the pattern over here is being cruel. What happened? The brothers of Yosef hated him. They couldn't speak to him. They plotted against him. When he came near them, they disrobed him. They took him and they threw him in a pit. And then they sold him to the Ishmaelim. This is what's happening. Nowadays, we are living in a period of increasing cruelty between Jew and Jew, between brother and brother, between brother and sister and brother. We are no longer showing the love and the compassion that we once had. What's happening over here is that we're taking people who are trying to settle Eretz Yisrael. We want to take them and we want to disrobe them. We want to take off their clothes in the sense of taking away their honor and dignity. We want to take them and throw them into the pit of despair, into the pit of poverty, into the pit of abandonment of their dream of settling Eretz Yisrael. And then we want to take these same people, and after we take away their homes and their jobs and their schools and their belief in themselves, we want to traumatize them by the ultimate cruelty of selling them to the Ishmaelim. We need to understand that it's not a suspect, but it's a pattern. It's a pattern of not caring about the poor, not caring about funding for Torah institutions, about releasing terrorists. And finally, the last act of cruelty is taking a Jew who is living the dream of Yosef, who loved Eretz Yisrael, and taking them and selling them to the Ishmaelim. It's our job during Hanukkah to make sure that this cruelty and this pattern stops. Thank you very much for listening.